Hi, and welcome to my kitchen. Thank you, Faye, for the necklace. It's so nice to have friends. We're continuing in the Hakdama to history, to Historia. Now, it's very interesting. Anti-Semitism isn't even rational. Of course it's not. Hate in general is not rational. Hate isn't rational. But let's examine one thing that blood libel. We're the only people in the world that don't do blood in anything. I don't know if in America you still look for Blutstropfen. I still do. But that's because I come from a different place, from a different age. We check every egg. We salzam, we bake our meat. We don't do blood at all in anything. And yet what are we accused of? Blood libels. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But hate doesn't have to make sense. Hate doesn't make sense. Hate is hate. And we've been hated everywhere. Why? Because, there are studies and studies and studies that it's jealousy. But I'm not going into that now. I'm just talking about fact for now. There's another problem. Numbers. If anybody attacks China or India, they're swallowed up by the amount of people. We're so little. It's an interesting thing. There's a man, a Japanese man, I hope I don't get it wrong, but it's not such a big deal where he's from, who was studying in the United States, and he was working with one of the rabbis that prepared some of this lecture. I think it's Rabbi Berger. And he said to Rabbi Berger, I read the New York Times every day so that I can learn English. And there are 3 countries that appear on the front cover of the New York Times all the time. The United States, what's the next one? Russia, and Israel. He wants to see them on the map. He wants to see Israel on the map. So if on the map the United States is 3 inches, then Russia is 5 inches, right? Israel, he couldn't find. Even the names of the cities are written on the Mediterranean because there's no room on that little pinprick. There's no room to put Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. No room. He said, that's it? That's the whole thing? That's the whole thing. Today there are 14 to 15 million Jews in the world. At the time of the Roman Empire, the Jews constituted 9% of the population of the world. Simple demographics tell us that without the Crusades, the pogroms, the Holocaust, assimilation, the Jewish people today would number well into the 100 millions. That's how much we lost. We lost 90 to 95% of our nation. We keep diminishing and diminishing, yet we're still bouncing up and down, barely hanging on at the bottom of the graph. Demographically, we should just pack it in, but we don't. Because Hashem said we will not. Because we will be here. Because the whole world was created because of us. Zecher Yemei Selom. Keep your eyes on history and see what's happening. Especially when we talk about assimilation. Every yid that you bring back is an Elam Umlei. In my sukkah, we saw something beautiful. My son-in-law called me over and he said, look, or was it my son? I'm sorry, it was my son, Yossi. He said, Ma, I saw the most incredible thing. 2 Russian Bochrim were sitting and learning a Maimer Chassidus in Russian. A Maimer Chassidus in Russian. These kids have been coming to my house for Sukkot for years. Dan Makagon, a friend of ours from Ukraine, brings them. they came here in leather jackets and big chupas. And today, those that are married are wearing a situk and a gartel and a black hat. They still verbringen Russian, but so do we sometimes, yeah? Nie bojuся nikogo, nie żurice chłopcy, etc. Somo, echti, durin Marko. It's time we put the pieces back. I want to end this part with a little story. There was once a man who told his wife that he bought new pants for a bar mitzvah in the shtibel, and she should please, you know, men's pants, you have to shorten the bottom. She should please shorten the bottom for him. She said, I have no time. What's the matter with you? I have to make holichkis and holopchis, and there's this salad and that salad and that salad. Nobody eats it, but you have to make it in case the neighbor comes in, yeah? Okay, so he went to his daughter and he said to his daughter, maybe you'll shorten my pants 3 inches from the bottom. I have to go to bar mitzvah, the shops. Pa, how could you ask me to do something? I'm in the middle of doing homework. Madoch, she's sitting by the computer with the telephone in each ear, but she's doing homework. He didn't have strength to this, and he really wanted those pants. So he went downstairs, put his pants on the ironing board, measured 3 inches and cut them off. Happy. 1 o'clock in the morning, the mother felt really bad, the wife. How could you do this to her husband? She took the pants and shortened it 3 inches. At 4 o'clock in the morning, the daughter came downstairs and felt very bad. She too put them on the ironing board, 3 inches. Each one figured they'd sew it later. You understand, he had shorts. It's time to put those inches back. Each generation takes off 1 more inch, 1 more inch, 1 more inch. We have to put those inches back. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Thank you very much. B'virchas Mashiach now.